Hey folks, so this is the first video that I am going to make about each of the individual classes, and I was having a hard time trying to decide which one I was going to start with, but if you can't tell by the surroundings, I decided to start with one that's an older class. It's a pretty popular class. We're going to start talking today about Druids. So as a class, Druids are characters that tend to love and respect nature. They tend to think about things in like a bigger system rather than just like the smaller pieces. When, say, like a giant snake jumps out at a party, while everyone else might be getting ready to fight, maybe the Druid stops and thinks and says, oh, hey, maybe we're really close. Maybe this is a mom. We're really close to their nest. Or maybe we scared the snake and it doesn't really want to fight. And so maybe the Druid tries to offer the snake some food or pat it on the head. So, requirements to become a Druid. You need to start thinking about your backstory if you haven't already, because as a Druid, you're going to have to tell me or tell the person running your game, explain what is their favored climate. Since Druids, they love nature, they live in nature, they get their magical power from nature. That might be a landscape that you're more familiar with, like woods with deciduous trees like oaks and maples, or like evergreens, or it might be something different. Maybe your character is a swamp druid. Maybe your character is a druid that lives in the desert, or some other kind of arid climate. Maybe your druid lives in like a snowy tundra. Or maybe your druid is from some sort of environment that's totally different, because this is fantasy, so anything can be anything. So maybe your druid is a lollipop that grew up in a forest where, there were gummy bear trees. You're also going to have to explain how your druid learned their druidic powers. Because it's something that's, you can't really just kind of teach it to yourself. Maybe your character was lost in the woods. Their family was attacked by bandits, and this lone druid came by and became a teacher and took care of them and taught them the ways of nature. Or maybe your character was just raised in a family where that was their practice all along. Or maybe something totally different. So now that you've built your backstory a little bit, you get to look at the special abilities. Druids get to, in-game, create one low-level spell a day in-game. That might be making some flowers grow. It might be creating something like a small thunderstorm, or maybe making some vines grow up and wrap around someone. Another special skill that Druids have is that they can shapeshift into animals. So here are the rules. You have to shapeshift into a less intelligent, non-magical animal. So it could be a bird, it could be a tiger, but it couldn't be, say, a phoenix or a dragon, or any of the other many talking magical animal creatures that appear in the game. So to figure out how long you can shapeshift into an animal, you're going to take your Druid score. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the number next to charisma and the number next to strength. And you're going to add those together. And that is your druid score. So for instance, if you have a 6 in charisma and you have like a 6 in strength, you can add those together. And so for 12 minutes a day, you can shapeshift into a non-magical animal. Alright folks, so I think we've covered the big spots, the big points about being a druid. The sun is setting, so I must move along. If you have a character that, as you've been playing, that as your points are going up, you're getting close to earning a class, your character maybe likes to think more about the big picture of things rather than just sort of forcing their way through, or if they just really like nature and the woods and animals, then you might want to consider being a druid. That is the end of the video. I am going to make another video about classes. There are many of them, and I started with this one because it's a little bit older, and I've had more than a few kids enjoy playing it. And so I would love to hear what might be a good choice for the next class that I do a video about. Alright folks, have fun gaming.